we have this weird frozen face because it's not an autoplay. So it's like, all right, make sure we smile because, Gary, usually I do these with my amazing wife, Rachel B. Lee. And I'm usually one with the frozen weird face, kind of looking one way or another. But dude, super stoked to be able to, have you do this with me today. The first LinkedIn Live of the year. If anyone doesn't know my amazing friend, Gary Henderson, let me just kind of go through and I'm going to read it because I want to make sure I cover everything. So I hate people that they look over there like, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm reading it because there's so many things that Gary's done, especially just over the last year, but before that. So Gary is the CEO of digitalmarketing.org, author of the new book, The Clubhouse Creator, which I have right here. Gary has worked with some of the very best minds in internet marketing, including Jeff Walker, Lewis Howes. Gary really has made his name over social media across the board, but, he's one of the early adopters of Clubhouse. And Gary, what do you have, like 85,000 followers now over there?
Yeah, like 83,200.
Yeah. So, being able to kind of go through and Gary's really been a pioneer in the internet marketing social media space. Gary, him and I have been connected for over years. He knows the ins and outs, how to really take your business and your brand to the next level. So, today we're really going to kind of get into, brass tacks and hopefully, Gary, you'll reveal some of the best strategies and secrets on how to capitalize, not just on the online media, but in this creator economy that we're in right now. And hi, Camille, as I see a message coming in, going through. But Gary, man, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me. And I've got to say thank you because my journey on Clubhouse started with you. So that very first room when I was down in the goo, as they call it now, down in the audience, and I raised my hand, I got that first invite from you and I came up and we were grinding together those very first days. So, I got my first voice on Clubhouse from Joshua B. Lee. So thank you so much.
No, I appreciate that. And guess what? If you don't believe him, just hearing him, it's like on page 7 of the book. Yeah, I know. So I was like, oh yeah, I even made the preface of the book.
You gotta take care of people that take care of you, and you've got to say thank you along the way because people help you with your journey. They open up doors. They literally, I put up my hand and you help me on stage. Like that's the thing, right?
We have to be in this world where you have to be able to raise your hand. And that's what we're kind of seeing in this creator economy is, we're seeing this shift. And just like with Clubhouse, you raised your hand. And you and I had a relationship. We knew who we were and we talked here and there, but since then, we've become really good friends, our wives have connected. All those kind of aspects, and it's just grown and we've been able to share and collaborate on a lot of these new things. So dude, with all that being said, the word creator economy has been thrown around a ton. Even we got my amazing wife, Rachel B. Lee's listening as well. She's talking about, the troublemaker Gary to lay it down on the creator economy. Dude, please lay it down for us because, you got picked up to be able to write a book on it. And you've really, truly changed your entire destiny based off of it.
Yeah. About a year ago, I was serving clients doing agency work. Done for you ads. And I knew I was done with that. I knew I didn't want to build funnels anymore, but I wasn't really sure what to do or how to do it. What I had done for years and years and years was pick up clients in small environments, go to a mastermind, get in the room, serve, just answer questions and help people.
Right.
And it just worked for me. So as I started to stumble into Clubhouse and get my feet wet there, I felt like I was in a mastermind room. I was on stage and I would answer questions. And as I would answer questions, people would ask me for additional help and I just sold it to them. I knew how to make money that way. And it just kept happening and happening and happening and happening. And I knew that it wasn't something that was sustainable because you only have so much time and so much energy and all these things. Back when January of last year, we were grinding. We were both making, I remember one room, you and I, you made a $2,000 course offer and sold 10 or 15 of them in the room live that morning on Clubhouse. And I remember when your wife was at, where was she at? Maybe Costco, and people tipped her and paid the Costco bill, Clubhouse tips. I remember that. She was either
when they released tips. Oh yeah, that was crazy. I think she still got more tips than I've ever gotten on Clubhouse. So I remember those moments, but it wasn't sustainable. So
I leaned into the blockchain. I leaned into cryptocurrencies. I leaned into NFTs. I leaned into a different type of model and tried to pave the path there. And it's worked out quite nice for me.
Dude,
I don't really charge clients anymore.
That's crazy. And I mean, I'll tell you, Gary, I mean, it really is. I mean, Rachel and I were out to dinner last night with some friends of ours. And I mean, of course, when we start talking NFTs and crypto, you are the first person I think of, because I've really been able to see how you've blazed a trail in that space. Because I mean, so when people go, oh, creator economy, you know, this is the digital revolution. No, I say this is the human revolution, right? Because it's giving more power to people to not only be able to create their own destiny, be able to, but it also, and always feel free to go, dude, Josh, you're totally wrong on this. But like, I believe it's a bit our ability to be able to track our history. Like, we're truly being able to take notation, because you look back in history of mankind, that's what we've always tried to do is to be able to remember our past, to be able to make better decisions for our future. But it's been hard because documents are lost or things weren't tracked. With NFTs, with blockchain, you're able to do that. And I mean, like, what you've done with Gary Coin, how you've actually been used it on Discord. Like, dude, I was talking it up. I'm like, all right, I've got this level, I've got this many Gary coins, so it opens up this many rooms. And, you know, with your giraffe tower, which we'll get into as well too. But, and please, like, tell us a little bit more, you know, on how you're actually kind of going through that aspect.
Well, all right. So my coin launched in March of 2021 at about 35 cents a coin.
Right.
And I have some supporters that bought in at that level. Over the time, we've grown it to right now, the coin's about $17.50. So I spent the first couple of months not having a clue what I was doing. I was literally writing the book. And as I got through that and July came around, I started to look, and it was a simple economy. There's a small number of people that own some coin. I started to monitor who owned coin. I started to watch why they would buy coin. And what I found was I'm kind of like a metaverse or an arcade, right? I have something called Gary Club, and
Right.
everyone in Gary Club owns Gary coin. And the more Gary coin they have, the more access they get to me, or the more little velvet ropes they can go behind. So if they have one, they get to have coffee with me every single morning. If they have 5, they get into a little private chat. If they have 25, they're going to get a brand new course I'm dropping. Now, there's no way to buy the course. It's not for sale. The only way you get it is if you own 25 Gary coin. And all the way up until, like, if you have 50 Gary coin, I'm bringing Rachel Miller in, and we're doing a mastermind on Clubhouse. The only way to get on stage is if you have 50 Gary coin.
Right.
So you can sit in the audience and listen for free.
Right.
But if you want to raise your hand and participate in the conversation, you've got to have 50 Gary coin. You don't pay me. You just have to hold them in your wallet. Because the way the creator economy works that I'm building is the more people that take their US dollars or their euros or whatever they have and trade it and get Gary coin, the more each Gary coin is worth. And the more people that hold that, the next person just keeps paying a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. So we even go up to 250 Gary coins, something I used to sell for $12,000 a year. You hold 250 Gary coin and you get access to me as your coach twice a week. You never pay me. You never, ever, ever have to pay me a dime. You just hold the coin.
Right.
So I've built the little equation that works, and I get passive income. I'm getting to the tune of 8 to 10 grand a week in passive income.
It's amazing.
Just
Those who
off
would
of the
love that. They
growth.
want that for 8 to 10 grand a month. That's what there's thousands of courses of people going, I'm going to teach you how to make $8,000 to $10,000 of passive income in a month. And you're able to do that in a scenario where you're educating people and doing it on a weekly basis.
It's just wild what it's able to do. And it changes the equation because, you know, Joshua, whenever somebody buys something, you want to give them their transformation as quick as possible.
Of course.
Well, I just sell Gary coin. So when you buy Gary coin, I immediately deliver Gary coin to you. And as long as you hold it, I'll give you some cool stuff.
Right.
But I give you instant delivery. And it's not confusing. You can buy 1, or you can buy 10, or you can buy 1,000. You can buy any number of Gary coin. So I don't have to sell you the next program or upgrade you or whatever. We just put a chart together, and it's like, you know, kind of when you go to the arcade. If you take your son to the arcade, he may look and say, oh, you know, Dad, I want to get 100 tickets because I can get this really cool prize. That's what my people are doing, my supporters, my followers, my community.
The difference is, though, Gary, that I look at that and go, wait a minute, how much do I have to spend to get 100,000 freaking tickets for a $5 stuffed giraffe? I mean, seriously, I just go buy it at Walmart, but the difference between you is you're actually providing real value that equates to instant access, education, because I mean, that's where we want to be able to, we want to educate, inspire, and draw people in. We do not want to sell them. I say this all the time, and you're doing just that in a way that's in this new metaverse.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's easy. It makes sense for everyone. I give every single person a path out when they want to walk out. We have full liquidity built inside the coin. I mean, John Lee, you and I were talking about John Lee earlier. I know he's one of the guests you'd love to bring on this show. John Lee bought $1,800 US worth of Gary coin. He's already cashed out over $9,000, and he has another 9,000 sitting there waiting on him. That's real money,
right?
Like real cash that came from the economy.
And he still has 100% access to all your courses.
Yeah, exactly right. He's still holding 410 Gary coins, so he has great access to me, and he's made a huge profit because he believed in what I was creating early in the process. And that's the other play of this, is when you find a creator that you fall in love with, an artist, an audio creator, a course creator, content creator, you're like, I really believe in where they're headed. I want to support them along their journey. And that's what happens.
Love that. So, I mean, like entrepreneurs, right? I mean, like everyone's kind of going through, like you and I had some early on, and like, I still kick myself because you're like, Josh, I'm getting a Gary coin, get yourself a Josh coin or a dopamine coin or whatever it is. And I tried, but I didn't have the follow through that you did to be able to sit on their Discord server and really connect with them, which is now leveraged into 7 figures for you easy over that time frame. So, I have a huge audience, like most of my followers are in the entrepreneurial space, either starting out or been there. And like, we continue to hear, you got to get into Bitcoin. You've got to get into blockchain. You've got to get an NFT. Like, where does someone start? Because like, truthfully, you started less than a year ago. Yeah. And I mean, you have now, really blazed a path and a trail and not just followed, but created new opportunities. So, I mean, like, where would someone start in this world?
I mean, the best place to start is to play as a consumer. So it's to buy some coin of some sort. It could be my coin. It could be ETH. It could be Bitcoin, but just buy something. Not a lot, just a little bit. You need to feel what it feels like. You need to, because the price is going to go up, right? And the price is going to go down. It's going to change a little bit. If you want to play with NFTs, the best thing you can do is go buy some NFTs. And Joshua, we launched our collection in August. Between July and September, I spent $500,000 US on secondary sales on OpenSea.
Wow.
Over 130 ETH secondary. That doesn't count what I spent primary. I spent a lot of money primary.
Right.
So I did this to feel what it felt like, because I couldn't go launch an NFT project until I had played it enough to know what to do. I needed to understand the feeling. Like, the best masterminds I've ever been to are people that have been in epic masterminds, and they've learned and they've said, oh, let's tweak this, let's tweak that. So it's all about the feeling. So I just went and played. So that's what I would tell you to do, is if you're curious right now, and you should be. I mean, there's been over $2 billion worth of transactions on OpenSea so far this year. We're on the 12th day of the year. Over $2 billion worth of transactions. February of last year, there wasn't quite 100 million. For the whole month of February. And we're 2 billion in the first 12 days of this year, over 2 billion. So you need to learn. It's, come grab a giraffe. We're on the 20th of January. We're giving those away for free. You've got to pay the gas. You'll mint it. You'll get a giraffe. Grab an NFT. Go play in the community. Spend a couple months learning, and then figure out where you want to actually get involved. Do you want to create your own collection? Do you want to build in the metaverse? Do you just want to be a supporter? Is it not for you? And do you want to step back for a little bit? And you just become a little conversational. But I think now's the time you want to jump in. There's a rumor that the Bored Ape Yacht Club is going to play a pretty big role in the Super Bowl halftime show. Right. And if that happens, then that's going to
Giraffe Tower's right behind them.
Yeah, exactly. But that'll bring a lot of mainstream attention to the word NFT.
Right. Well, I mean, like Crypto.com just took over the Staples Center, which is weird because that's the only name that I've ever known the Staples Center for. And now it's like the Crypto.com arena. And it's like, okay, I'm going to have to get really used to saying that. My wife's from LA and things like that. So that, I think, really, if that didn't put it in mainstream for Crypto.com coming in and being able to take an arena and spending more money than anyone's ever bought to be able to hold that contract, it's crazy to be able to see. Man, it's just, I'm excited. I continue to try and learn. I mean, you are the one that I go to when I have questions. You are the one I refer to other people to when they ask me about it. And I mean, we continue to be able to kind of see this whole piece. Rachel's asking, can we dumb down NFT for the audience?
Yeah, and I was going to tell you, we're making the Giraffe Tower very mainstream. So NFT is a non-fungible token. What that means is it's truly unique. A dollar bill is fungible. What that means is if I give you, Joshua, $1, I wouldn't expect you to give me the exact same dollar bill back. I could get any dollar bill back and it would be okay. I could get 4 quarters and it would be okay. I could get 10 dimes and it would be okay. Any combination of that, as long as it was still equal to $1. Where non-fungible is like your kids. If you give me your kid, I couldn't give you back mine. They're not exchangeable. So NFTs are just like our kids. They're non-fungible. They're non-exchangeable. They're like humans. They're truly unique.
Right.
But we're taking it and we're building kind of more mainstream. So we just built an integration to Obvio. So Obvio is the virtual event company that runs Tony Robbins virtual events. So if you've been to any of Tony Robbins virtual events over the last couple of years, it's ran by a company called Obvio. So we built an integration to Obvio that people who have Giraffe or people who have Gary Coin get access to virtual events now.
Right. It's amazing.
So we're taking what normally would be a monthly membership or an annual coaching program, and we turned it into an NFT project that you buy for once and you save forever.
Right. Rachel's like, NFTs like our kids, non-refundable.
Non-refundable, exactly right.
I guess that's kind of like you said, not fungible, non-refundable, you know, one of those things. Man, I love that because I mean, like you and I remember a year ago, because NFTs really started, well, where I started seeing them more useful as artists were like, when I say artists, like, you know, actual music artists were actually using them and selling the NFTs like their album, and they were using that as access to all their future concerts, right? And you could be able to transfer that over to somebody else and be able to go through. But, you know, and it was able to be tracked. And someone also, you know, explained it to me, like, think about it where it is now comparatively to where we're going in the future. Because like, let's say I coin the NFT, the deed to my home, right? And I mean, like, I can be able to basically slow drip that out to my kids over many years, or they take a percent ownership. There's no issue, or there's able to be tracked. So there's no issue being able to track these physical items, because everyone goes, oh, well, that's just a picture in, you know, like just an image online. How is that trackable? But like, there is a way where they're actually seeing it towards the future, where we'll actually be able to tie this to actually physical items as well, too, from what I understand, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can tie it to anything you want. You know, Nike has a patent on some metaverse technology that will give you an NFT for your sneakers.
Right.
You know, you can tie.
Don't get me started on Nike. I mean, like I'm a huge Nike, you know, always on trying to get those drops, and I've been pissed off at them lately because I can't win a freaking drop. And the one time I won a drop, my package didn't get delivered, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, dude, those shoes are now $600." And sorry, I'm going on a whole nother tangent. Let's get back.
But okay, so Adidas did it, right? So Adidas partnered with the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah.
And they said all of the apes can buy a special Adidas NFT. It was 0.2 ETH, which was about $800.
Right.
But what it gave you were 4 unique drops over the next calendar year. And when you bought the NFT, it was redeemable for 4 drops.
Right.
So if I owned it and you could check it and say, well, Gary hasn't redeemed the drops yet, I want to buy it from Gary, or Gary's redeemed one of the 4 drops, I'll still buy it because I want the other 3 drops.
Yeah.
And you're guaranteed the drop. You don't have to wait in line anymore. You own the NFT. So it creates a really neat set. Of course, because you don't want to wait in line. You want convenience. You want a little bit of the flex. You know it's yours. You don't have to wake up at whatever time they decide to drop it. There's no tech issues. Yeah. Well, these sold for about $800. The cheapest one you can buy right now is $3,000.
Yeah.
None of the merchandise has dropped yet. So now what happened for Adidas? Well, they sold thousands of these, like let's just say 5,000. So they made like $4 million up front for all their merchandise that they have to produce over the next year. of diehard people that are just dying to get the merchandise because they paid for it in advance.
Yeah.
It's a win for everyone.
I love
Like it
that.
just creates a full win. So NFTs for where we're at today are kind of like your loyalty card, your virtual membership, your fast pass, your early access. You know, imagine a course. You have a course and you sell it as an NFT. It's like,
Right.
cool, as long as you own the NFT, you get access to the course. Well, we all know some people just get tired of it. Some people want to sell it. You don't, it
Some people
doesn't
never
do
even
you
watch
any
it.
good. Right. It doesn't do you any good if they just keep holding access. Give
Right.
them an NFT, because then if they go sell it to somebody else, you get someone brand new to consume your course.
And see, that's where it is. And I mean, we've gotten into a world where like I get sick of the course creators. I mean, we all have different courses and stuff like that. I get that. But like, I don't want someone to be able to come in my course and not actually finish it, right? We want someone to be able to, we're doing these courses, most of us, guys like you and I, we're doing this to add value, to educate the audience so they can take action. If they're looking just to collect information, I always tell people there's an amazing free website. It's called Google. Like, you don't need to buy my course. You don't need to go anything. Like, you can just go to Google and be able to collect as much information as possible if you're not going to take action on it. So it's like courses too. So with the NFTs, like, we want that to be able to go in. If you're not going to do it, well, let's figure out a way to be able to bring the next person in, how you can actually leverage that and actually use it as not just a course that's a piece of information that you're collecting, but actually as value, right? So, man, I love that. And I mean, I hopefully we haven't exhausted the NFT conversation and you know, being able to go into this. I want everyone to really understand, you know, really why I love you, because it's all about, like, you and I are very similar. It's not just based on knowledge, right? Like, I can go in and talk about LinkedIn all I want, and you can go in and talk about the creator economy, NFTs, and really get deep. But like, we came from a world that was internet marketing, right? How to be able to actually build these communities, how to actually connect with people, and how to do social media marketing, whatever it might be. And, you know, right now, your new book, The Clubhouse Creator, which I hope everyone goes out and gets, because I'm like featured on page 7. And then I think I'm in the first chapter, whatever. I think my wife's mentioned like probably chapter 4. You know, it's okay. She gets in there somewhere, but, you know, you really did this through building relationships, right? It's called building relationships, deepening relationships, and accelerating success, right? So why do you feel that way? Because I know why. I look at it like everyone's, you know, it's human to human, right? It's not every company. It's every company's run by another human being. And how do you connect with them? How do you build those relationships? So how are you leveraging that to really be able to build that audience and get rid of just clients, just get rid of just sales, and actually build advocates? Because I'm watching them here. I see it. I know when we have your giraffe tower advocates and your people, because they start posting pictures of giraffes, and I freaking love it every time we're on there. I'm like, dang it, I need to figure out what a dopamine image looks like. But tell me more, man, about the book and like why it means so much to you.
I figured out how to scale intimacy. So I figured out how to take intimate moments like you and I are having right now and scale it and let an audience participate in it. And I figured out how to give segments of that audience access to me at that level. So when they see you and I talking, they want to talk like you and I are talking. And I just happen to monetize it. So I've been able to build a path to say, here's me. I'm going to be very transparent. I'm going to be very open. And I'm going to give you a clear path to get every level of access you would ever want with me. If you want my cell phone number and one-on-one access, no problems at all. Here's the path to do that.
Right.
If you want to come hang out with me at the beach club, here's the path to do that. That's what Clubhouse allowed me to do.
Yeah. Because
it allows me to just have conversations like this and a bit of voyeurism. Other people consuming that content on a regular basis. So they start to hear us laugh. They hear us talk. They hear the relationship that we have, and they want that. They hear me help you, you help me. They want both of that. And then in the creator economy, what we're creating right now, you and I, it's truly unique. So this will never, ever, ever exist again. So we're giving it away for free on a live, and they'll be able to watch a replay. But it could also be a monetizable piece of content where your community and my community may have paid or held a little bit of money, a little bit of your coin, a little bit of my coin, in order to get access to a super cool conversation by 2 really cool guys.
Could have been like this.
Learn something unique. Exactly. So that's what I did on Clubhouse every single day. That's what the book's about. It's building an audience and deepening those relationships, scaling that intimacy really deep. And that's where the money's made, because people just start raising their hands and saying, where do I pay? Where do I pay? I mean, that first month I was on Clubhouse, I had people sending me direct messages on Instagram, asking me for a link or asking me for bank wire information, sending $12,000 pop. Just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It was just boom, 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 because it was just so quick. It was scaling intimacy, building intimate connections at scale, and doing it over and over and over again.
And that's the hardest thing that we have to do in this world, right? Everyone wants to be able to build scale, but how do you actually build that intimacy? And like you and I both work on that. We both do it in different directions. I work it on LinkedIn, and you've really done it in an overall space. And I mean, it's really commendable, my friend, because I mean, that's the only way we truly humanize the way we are online. That's the biggest thing we continue to be able to miss. So, dude, love that. And I appreciate that. Let's see here. I know we have a couple what's the best way to make money? So Rachel's asking, what should we be worried about as creators with all these social media platforms? Because it seems like a lot of people believe that there's something to be worried about at some point.
You need to decentralize yourself. Your creators lean too heavily into one platform. And you don't just need to decentralize your audience. You need to decentralize your content, and you need to decentralize your monetization. So many times, right, you go become a big YouTube star and you pull a bunch of money from YouTube ads. Right. Or you go become a Twitter person and you start, doing this, or you start doing that, or TikTok starts paying you. You've got to pull that back yourself. You've got to find your own income streams like you've done, Joshua. Like you've been able to, monetize with courses and your services, because then it's like, well, we know you love LinkedIn, and we know you're a big fan, and LinkedIn's on a huge, massive come up right now, which is epic.
But at any point in time, you're still living on their island. Right.
It could go away. And if it does, well, what would you do? You would know how to pivot, because you have your audience, and you have the people that would they'll buy a mindset course from you. They'll buy anything from you because they've fallen in love and you've gotten them results on their transformations. Right. So that's what creators need to be scared of, is when the social media site disappears or when it's not cool anymore, what do you do? So if you've decentralized that, if you've pulled your income, if you've built your own assets, if you've got your own playground, your Discord servers or whatever those are, then you're going to be okay. You're going to have to find a new place to grow your audience again. But at least you'll have your core audience with you, and they won't be platformed like stranded on some island somewhere.
I love that, man. And, I mean, it goes back to the relationship aspect, because, as human beings, we are emotional beings, but not just emotional on making decisions, but we're emotionally tied to the almighty dollar, right? Like, if anyone, we're talking decentralization and being able to take that money, and it sucks. I wish I had really thought this out. This is because I don't actually pre-plan anything. And Rachel's always like, dude, you got to take some time to... But I would seriously be holding a $1 bill and $100 bill here in front of me, and I go, we have different emotional ties to that, because there's not enough money in the bank in the reserve, enough gold to be able to back either one of those. But it's our emotional tie of what we believe and what we created to be able to have on those dollar bills. And so, like with you, I mean, it's that decentralization. Oh, look, see,
there's 120. That's as close as I can get.
I know.
I don't keep dollars in my wallet.
Filthy
I don't keep
dollar bills
in my
on
wallet.
But I mean, seriously, right? I mean, like, we're in $1 trillion in debt as a company, as a country. So, like, it's our
Did you see
tie
the inflation rate?
Yeah,
7%. 2021 was the highest since 1982. I was born in 81. It's the highest since then. It was 7% last year. We printed 7 trillion US dollars. An average of $222,000 a day was printed in the United States.
Yeah.
Or sorry, a second in the United States, $7 trillion. That's insane amounts of money that we printed with nothing to substantiate it or back it up.
Yeah. Now, look, Gino on here says Discord and decentralizing your community is the future. So what makes you love like Discord, right? Like, I mean, I look at it, I get confused sometimes. I've talked to my group, and I know this is one thing that you've done, and you've actually helped other people be able to build out their Discord communities and understand how to be able to do that. Like, I look at it and I go, All right. Well, this seems like a lot. Gary has a lot of time on his hands or a lot of things because there's a lot of notifications. Half the time I turn off half. You're pinging me, Josh, jump in the Discord real quick. We were about to do this. And I'm like, wow, this is freaking amazing. But not all of us have time to be able to build those. We say we don't have time. We all have the exact amount of time. But,
It's
like,
where you spend your time.
yeah,
Discord works great for one key reason. Normally, you have a big public environment, a big LinkedIn group, a big Facebook group, right? A big public space. And when someone chooses to pay you, you graduate them and you move them to the VIP private area, right? Well, in Discord, it's all the same. So you never have to graduate anyone or move them. They just get access to a brand new channel.
right,
So all the same content they were in and everything up here, because when you move from the free group to the paid group, you stop playing in the free group anymore.
right,
So now what happens is all of your core people, all your best students, they're now only over here. So now you just have all your worst people, the people who don't want to pay you, hanging out by themselves. That's not what you want.
right.
So in Discord, we're able to just click one button and it's all automated. You can automate it through Patreon or Memberful or Zapier, or build your own bots to where when someone pays you, they get access. And when they stop paying you, they lose access. It's just easy. You can run a stage, a room. It's just all there. And you could completely max out a Discord server with all the perks and bells and whistles for like $1,000 for the whole year.
Wow.
So you're not looking at like per user basis like you would in like a premium Slack or something like that.
And see, that's amazing for people to be able to understand and be able to get, man. I appreciate that. And dude, I want to make sure I respect your time because we're not running a Clubhouse room. And so we're not going to be on here for 12 hours, and back to back, and get those back old days of Clubhouse fatigue where we're like, I would wake up feeling a hangover. So dude, we've covered so many things from the creator economy to NFTs to Discord to decentralization to building communities and relationships. Like, what's the best way? Like, we've got some amazing people and this will continue to be able to go on. What's the best way for people to reach out, to be able to connect with you, to be able to get Gary coin? What's
Easy
the best
website,
way?
it's gary.club.
Man, you make that too hard.
So if you go to gary.club, it's going to ask you for your email. It's going to send you a free gift. And on the second page of that, it's going to give you every relevant link. How you can go grab the book, how you can check out the giraffes, how you can grab some Gary coin, all of that. You just have to go to gary.club.
Love that, man. Well, brother, I appreciate you. Let's make sure we continue to do this. I know everyone, if you're listening right now too, LinkedIn, we talk about Clubhouse a lot, but LinkedIn just added their first initial LinkedIn audio rooms. And Rachel and I have been first access over this morning. Gary joined us in a room. And Gary, man, I would love to be able to, kind of set that up too, where we take a little bit more time. We put you in your element, that audio element, and, do some more rooms coming up because, you and I both know, like when we go back and look at what we did in the initial parts, like we were gaining 1,000 people a day on Clubhouse, and I remember you and I having competition back and forth. And this is that opportunity again for people to be able to be involved. And we invite everyone to join us in these rooms because Gary, look, I know you're different, brother. You're probably still getting 1,000 people a day to follow you.
I'm way not close. I get like 30 or 40 a day to follow me. And that's if I'm grinding it out on a good day. It's not. That's
anymore. Tough these days. Yeah,
it is.
Well, my brother, I appreciate you. I, again, honor your time and have an amazing day. We'll connect soon. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. And we will all see you on all the socials, on the Discords, on everything, because I'm going to spend more time on Gary's Discord server as well, too. All right, y'all. See everyone soon.